Okay, grade 10s, we're going to move on to section 2.2 of our workbook, and we're going to talk about clothing sales. And we're going to start by estimating and then calculating the discounts when we have clothes on sale. First, though, we're going to warm up and get back into the swing of things because it's been a while since you have done some math with me. And so we'll start on this warm-up page on page 38. So I'm just going to zoom in here so it's a little bit easier for us to read. We're on page 38. So first, we're going to just remind ourselves of some rounding. So it says round to the nearest dollar. So you see, we're going to look at the first cents there, the 30 cents. And we know that 30 cents is lower than 50 cents. So this one will get rounded to $37. This one, we're going to look at the 89 cents. The 89 cents is closer to the 43, so that's going to round up to $43. Here, it says we're going to actually round to the nearest $10. So here we rounded to the nearest $1. Here we're going to round to the nearest $10. So we're looking at 37.30. Is this closer to 40 or is it closer to $30? And I think the $7 tells you, the 7 tells you that it's closer to $40. Next, the 42.89. Is it closer to $50 or closer to $40? And the 2 here tells us that it's closer to the 40. So both of these would round to the nearest $10. They're approximately $40. This is a little less than $40, and this is a little more than $40. But still, we round in both ways. All right, moving down to number 3. We're going to calculate each amount. So we'll have to remind ourselves not just what we did in the last couple of videos, but also what we did back in the first chapter, and calculating from percent to a percentage of a number. So don't forget, when we do this here, we're finding the percent of a number, and that translates to the percent we're going to do as a decimal. Of means times, and then of course your number. So let's look at this first operation, 10% of 45. So the 10% you divide by 100 is 0.1. Of means times, and 45. So we go to our calculator and we're going to go we got to turn it on, 0.10 times 45, and we'll find out that the answer is 4.5, which of course means $4.50. Next, we have 25% of 62. So 25% divide by 100, move 2 decimal places over, is 0.25. Of means times 62. So let's try that. 0.25 times 62. And we get 15.5, which means $15.50. I'm going to give you a second. You can pause the video and try the rest on your own. So remember, divide this by 100 to get the decimal, multiply by this number, and see what you get. Okay, hopefully you've tried some, so we're just going to quickly go through the answers. 40% is 0.4 times 65, works out to $26. 30% divided by 100, move 2 decimal places, is 0.3 times 108, is $32.40. And 50% is 0.5 times 89, is $44.50. So hopefully you got those last 3 correct. All right, let's move on to number 4. Shade in 3/4 of this grid. So the way I see it, I see a quarter, a quarter, a quarter. So I've got this first quarter here. That's 1/4 of the thing shaded in. There's a second quarter, and I could shade in this third quarter, and I've got 3/4 of this shaded in. What percentage of that is it? Well, if you notice, these are all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 100 grids here. And I've shaded in this much, this much, this much, 3/4 of it. I think that's 75% of it. That's 3/4, 75%. And I think we're pretty good at knowing that 3/4 is 75%. And if 75% is shaded in, what percent is not shaded in? Well, 100% is the whole thing. 75% is shaded in. That means you subtract it, you would get 25% is not shaded in. All right, great. Let's move on to Rhonda's pay, number 5. What fraction of Rhonda's pay is salary? So she gets paid a bunch of different ways. She's got some commission, some salary, some bonus, and some other. So what fraction is Rhonda's pay salary? So I'm just going to highlight Rhonda's pay as this chunk of the circle graph. Commission, I think, looks like half of it, and this looks like a quarter of the salary. I imagine you would agree. Or you can imagine that as 25 out of 100. Why would I want it 25 out of 100? I think all of us looked at it and would say this would be a quarter of the entire circle. Well, 25 over to 100 would help us with the next question. What percent of Rhonda's pay is this? So for 1/4 is the same as 25 out of 100, which means we're talking 25%. So 25% of Rhonda's salary or pay is salary. All right, finally over here at number 6, 1/4 of $40. So you can imagine $40. If I had that in $10 bills, I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4 of them laid out. And 1/4 of that would be one $10 bill. Or you can imagine as 40 divided by 4 and get $10. $10 of that is a quarter of 40 is $10. Here we've got the $40 times 25%. So remember on that one, it's just like what we did above here. When we're finding the percent of something, we're going to change that percent into a decimal and then punch it in our calculator. So we're going to go 40 times 0.25 equals, and it's $10. All right, good. So both of these are $10. What about 40 divided by 4? Well, the same idea. If you had $40 and they were in all in $10 bills, you divide it by 4, each of them would be $10. And finally, this last one, 40 times 0.25. Well, isn't that exactly what we did right there? And we know that the answer is $10. So not surprisingly, all of these are actually saying the same thing. 1/4 of 40% or 25%, sorry, 1/4 of $40, 25% of $40 divided by 4, which is the same as a quarter, or 0.25. All of these mean the same thing. They all end up being $10. These are the two that we're going to use most often for today's lesson. Using the decimal or the percent, we're going to be asked to find the percent, and we'll want to change to a decimal. Okay, let's move over to page 38, or sorry, 39. So I'm just going to go change the view here so we can see all of that. So on page 39, they have two methods to estimate the sale price. We're going to look at method 1 first, and then do a question, and then we'll come back and look at method 2. So right now we're just going to cover up method 2 for a second, and we're only on page 39 going to look at method 1. So here it says we're looking at buying a vest. So the vest here is $42. $42. Okay, it's $42. Today, the vests are on sale for 25% off. Oh, wait, sorry, I forgot to move over to my next screen. Sorry. Here we go. Well, method 1. All right, yesterday's vest sold for $42. There we go, $42. Today, that same vest is 25% off. So looking at method 1, we're going to follow these steps and then practice with method 1. So we're going to take this $42 and we're going to round it to a convenient value. So instead of doing the estimation on $42, we're going to do the estimation on $40. Okay, and use this to determine what our discount is. And you'll notice it's 25%. So 25% of $40 will get us our discount. In order to do this math, of course, we got to change the 25% to a decimal. And then of means times 40. Let's ask our calculator then what that is. 0.25 times 40 is $10. This is just like the math we just did. So that means we're getting $10 off. And so if the original price was about $40 and we subtracted $10 as our discount, then the vests are on sale for about $30. Okay, this is an estimate, so we're just estimating about how much it costs. Notice this little bubble here says 25% is like a quarter, so you can also get it by dividing by 4, which is just what I was doing in this whole section right there. All right, so We've got this first method where you're going to round to a convenient number, take the percentage, and subtract that from the entire price. Let's practice this. We're not going to go to method 2 yet. So to practice it, we're going to skip method 2 and go down to the bottom of page 39 and do question 2. It says each item in this table is 25% off. We're going to use method 1 to estimate the discount and then figure out the sale price. So first, let's talk about these pants. We have they cost $35.89. We need to round it to a little bit more friendly number. So let's round it up to $36. The discount is 25%. So we're going to take 0.25% of this price, or we can divide it by 4. So 36 divided by 4, or 36 times 0.25 will get us $9. So that means we're getting $9 off. We're getting the 25% means $9 off. In order to figure out the estimated price, we're going to have to take this $9 away from the price. So we're going to subtract. And subtract but 9 is 27. Let's check that on our calculator. 36 subtract 9 is 27. Great. All right, so there is our estimated price. Okay, and that's what we're doing in today's videos. We're going to estimate the sale price, and we know that it's about $27. Let's try it again for the sweater, which is $32.20. Since we're estimating, let's round that down to 32. It's closer to 32 than it is 33. And we're going to take 25% of that by dividing by 4 or taking 0.25. Let's check that. 0.25 times 32 is $8. Good. And then we'll subtract that, and 32 minus the $8 saving gets us our $24. And finally, we've got some shorts, which are $29.95. Again, since we're estimating, let's choose a nicer number. Let's round that up to $30. And we're going to divide by 4 or take 0.25 of that. So 0.25 times 30 is 7.5. So we're getting $7.50 off. And if we subtract that, 30 minus 7.50, we get that off the price. And that means the estimated price of these shorts that are on sale is $22.50. Okay, so that's how method 1 is for estimating the sale price of items. You're now actually going to go back up and we're going to look at method 2. Okay, so it's right above it, still on page 39. Let's look at method 2. It says we're going to find out what's left after the discount. So this is a different way. We're still going to be looking at that vest that was $42, and we're going to round it to $40. Okay, we're going to work with 40. It'll be much easier. Determine the percent that is left after the discount. So the discount, remember, is 25%. So if 25% is how much we're getting off, then we must have 75% left to pay. 100% is the entire cost of the thing before the sale price. And if we're getting 25% off, we must have 75% less. So now instead of doing your math with 0.25, we're going to do the math on 75% of 40. So this time we're going to go 0.75 divided by 100 gets us 0.75 times 40. Let's check that. 0.75 times 40, and we get our $30 sale price right away. And that mark right there is exactly right. So this is going to get us the same estimate as above, but you see that some people might like method 2 better because we're actually only doing the percentage calculation once and doing the subtraction first. And it's a little bit quicker to be able to calculate that. All right, if you flip over then to page 40, page 40 will be where we're going to do example 3, and we're going to use method 2 to do this. All right, so we've got a similar chart, and the coat is here. The coat is $59.99. So we're going to round this to an easier number to work with, and $60 is a much easier number to work with. The percents that we have left. Well, if we get 25% off, that means we must have 75% left over. And in fact, it's going to be 75% of all of these because we're getting 25% off. So we're going to have to pay 75%, which means we're going to do 0.75 times the rounded price every single time. So here we're going to say 0.75 times 60. We'll check that on our calculator. 0.75 times 60, and it's $45. So our estimated sale price is $45. You can imagine if you got up to the till, $59.99, it's going to be a little bit less than that. But this is a good estimate. Okay, let's try a second one, the scarf, $11.88. Well, let's work on an estimated price of 12 bucks. That's closer to $12 than it is $11, so we'll do $12. We're still going to do 0.75 times the rounded number, so 0.75 times 12, and we can check that that is, 0.75 times 12, and we get that the estimated sale price is $9. So why don't I give you a moment? You can pause for a second and try the boots on your own, and then we'll come back and get our answer. Okay, hopefully you've tried that. $78.99. I think I'm going to make that a nicer number and round it to almost $80. It's closer to $80. And I'm going to take 0.75 times 80, and hopefully you've done this on your calculator to find out that it's $60. So the sale price of these boots with 25% off means you're paying 75%, and the sale price is $60. Finally, on page 40, we're going to do the last question, number 4. So it's got this little cartoon here. You see some shorts here, and it's got a regular price, but they're 30% off, and there's no tax. So Maya here says those shorts will be about $10 off. So each pair would cost $20. And this guy here is like, Maya, how did you estimate that so fast? And she says 30% is almost 1/3 off. So let's divide 30 by 3 to find out the discount. Then subtract that from the original price. So she's sort of using method 1, but she's sort of saying it's almost 1/3. And she's right, 30% is almost 1/3. 1/3 is actually 33%, but you get a pretty good estimate. So let's show the steps that Maya actually did here. So the first thing she did was she was looking at this price and said, I'm not going to deal with $28.29 or $28.99. I'm going to deal with $30. And so I'm going to estimate that it's about $30. And then what's next? Well, then she said it's almost 1/3. So we're going to divide by 3. So taking 1/3 of this is dividing by 3, and that's an easy number. 30 divided by 3 is $10. So that's her discount. So finally, she's going to take that discount and subtract it from the price. So $30 is her estimate. She's estimating she's going to save $10, and therefore she thinks the price is going to be 20 bucks. So why did Maya divide by 3? Well, because 30% is approximately 1/3, and 1/3 means 1 divided by 3. So this was a nice little estimate that Maya was able to do in her head, and where we're going to stop for today's lesson. So if you